Hello, welcome back to another developer update on the Gangs of Metacadia game. In this one, we're going to be talking about eliminating other gangs from the game, and this is through the warring system. So here I'm playing with 4 gangs at the moment. I've already eliminated the digital drifters, as you can see above here. What we're going to do is we're going to go through and eliminate or start a battle between the Neon Syndicate and the Chrome Serpents. So I am the Chrome Serpents here. So what I'm able to do is click on this red icon here, which is the gang management icon. So only the leader can do this, right? This is the leader only building. And by going into manage gang, I can go into Neon Syndicate here and select them, and I can declare war on them. Now what declare war does is essentially sets up a phase. There's a short period of time, and in the game we'll probably make this about 2 days, maybe 1 to 2 days of time, where neither of those gangs can really eliminate each other, but everyone in the game knows they're at war with each other, right? So I'm using 60 seconds here in this test net example, but the idea here is to use this time while you know that you're probably going to get attempted to be eliminated from. You want to be able to build up members, influence, wealth, all of those things, because they will help you in the battle that is to come. So the idea here is that you'll notice if you go back to the notifications page here, you'll see that the Chrome Serpents have declared war on the Neon Syndicate. So there's a notification section that anyone in the game can always check to see what's happening or what's happened if they missed it. And that's it'll be listed here. So these two are at war, and anyone in these other gangs can then use their influence to either boost or suppress the ones they want to win or the ones they want to lose, and so on, right? So that influence part does play a role. You can see the influence of these two gangs up here, so 400,000 versus 200,000. This gang is also more substantially more wealthy, and this other one they both have 2 members. So there'll be essentially a glorified role that happens behind the scenes to determine this war, but of course many different factors are taken into place, like items and so on, and we'll talk a bit about that as we go. Let's go ahead and start the war. So starting the war is about a 60-second process. You don't have to start the war there as well. You could cease the war, so you could declare war on a gang to trick another gang into thinking that you're going to eliminate them, and then stop the war. You can do all sorts of really interesting things that sort of play into the strategy of the whole game, because there is a cease war button there as well, where you can just press it to stop being at war with a gang. So what you can see here is the war taking place, and it takes about 60 seconds or so. What we're actually doing behind the scenes is we're taking context about the 2 gangs and all of the people involved, so the Neon Syndicate and the Chrome Serpents, and we're building up a story. We're doing that via Claude 3.5, which is a machine learning model, or AI model, that is able to sort of creatively generate how that fight might play out based on the people and the characters of that gang. And then we're passing that to a text to audio model to be able to create the audio that represents the fight and how it's going to play out. And then we can play that back to the user when the war actually takes place. So here you can see war was complete. We're not really happy with this screen yet. This will probably change. I can click this button here in the middle to understand what happened. So the Chrome Serpents actually defeated the Neon Syndicate in this case. So you can see there's a bunch of text about what exactly happened, so you can read through it, or you can actually click the link to hear the audio from the narrator describing the fight and what actually happened at each point in the fight. So you get a really good understanding of what happened, and you can also see there's a transaction link on chain that that shows what happened, and that of course is the transfer of wealth between the 2 gangs. The Neon Syndicate being defeated is quite the upset there, because these guys had 200,000 less influence, and now they've absorbed all of the wealth. So see, now they have 200,000 roughly MK tokens as their wealth, and the Neon Syndicate are no longer here anymore, right? So that's kind of how that works. You can see in the notifications as well as this red outline notification, which happens every time a gang is eliminated. So this is sort of saying this is what happened, this is how they got eliminated, and you can click it to see the fight and to replay that audio. So any other gang can come to the notification section and they can see that and read that and understand what happened. So yeah, you can see that Venom and his team got eliminated by reading this, and if we listen to that, we'd get the same story back in audiobook. So that's kind of how eliminating works. Of course, if you're eliminated, you still have the items in your wallet, and those can still be traded to other people, and they can be traded on marketplaces and so on. But they're no longer equipped to your character, of course, because you're no longer in the game. So that's a little bit about warring. In that case, that was a little bit of an upset where it seems like the Chrome Serpents won that war with probably about a 30% chance. But that being said, items play a large role in the declaring who wins the war, right? Influence does play the largest role, but so do items. They also play like a very specific role, and that's because items can roll like war chance success. So this one has 1% war chance success. But what we do during a war on the back end is we of course calculate all of the gang members' items. So if all of the members have like extra 5% chance on war success, like they're going to dominate the whole the wars throughout the game. And so that's a really big part of it. But of course, if many people suppressed that gang through influence, then they would be like heavily unfavored to win because their influence is so low, right? So items are really just boosting the modifier on influence, which is sort of the number one factor in determining how a war is played out. Of course, members in a gang is massive as well. Of course, you need to have members, wealth, even security of your vault plays a small chance in that role for determining who the winner of the war is as well. So all of the factors are taken into place. Even the tenure of the gang members, right? How long they've been in the gang for. So that's a bit about warring, and there's quite a lot more to that, and we're probably going to change that system a little bit more as we sort of finish off the development process. But as you can see up the top as well, after a war, there's a period of time. We'll probably make this like at least 3 or 4 days, where gangs cannot eliminate each other anymore. There's like a peace phase, right? So no one can actually declare war on each other until this timer is elapsed, and that means that then the process can start again, and then another gang can potentially get eliminated. So that's a bit about the warring process. Hope you've enjoyed it.